So, Holly, I know that I've been doing online modeling a little bit longer than you.
Mhm.
And what inspired you to start OF?
So I actually grew up wanting to do something like this. Like I know this platform didn't exist, and back when we were growing up, there was just like magazines, and I think as we got into our 20s, there were some other platforms that maybe I wasn't as comfortable with at the time. So I'm like, no, I'm not like, I just didn't know where my place was, but I knew that I wanted to be in the industry and that I wanted this freedom, but I just didn't know where I fit in with that. And so it really wasn't until I was recruiting nurses. I was working for a dialysis company. I was recruiting nurses, and I was on maternity leave, and a woman popped up, Miss Poindexter. Everyone knows who she is. She pops up on the news. I'm sitting there literally eating like bonbons on the couch, right? Like the
Yeah.
stereotypical, like
Uh-huh.
sad stay-at-home mom, fretting going back to work. And she pops up and they mentioned OF. And I immediately, because they mentioned her income, I was like, let
Okay.
me do my research.
Yes.
And so I did, and I understood that this is a business, and that it's not just a platform where you log on and you make money, but that it's a business, and that I needed to create a business plan, that I needed social media, which I didn't have. I had never been on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and nothing. Not,
Yeah.
so I knew that I had to learn social media, and that was all part of the plan. And so I put together the plan, I implemented it, and within about 3 months of putting together this plan and starting, I quit my job, and
Wow.
which is a great job. I was doing really well, but I knew I didn't enjoy it, and that I had this amazing opportunity. So I went for it. I jumped in headfirst in the pool with no water, and I'm glad I did.
And here you are.
Here I am. Yeah.
Yay. So exciting. Well, my journey is a little bit different. I can't believe, depending on when you're watching this, of course,
Oh,
it's 2025 right now. So,
yeah.
depending on when you're watching this, I have been an online model for over 8 years.
Have
And
you really? Has it been that
yeah,
long? I've
yeah, can
been
you
three
believe
and a
that?
half. Three, no, this summer will be four, but
Okay,
8.
8. Yeah, because I started on a different platform.
Okay.
I actually created my own website. So, yeah. And this is before anyone knew about OF or anything like
Yeah.
that. I created my own website. And I was like a single mom. So I got a
Mhm.
divorce, was a single mom, and really just started modeling again to build my confidence up. And I wanted to be in front of the camera again to make myself feel better and to feel better about myself. Well, that I just reiterated the same thing, but yes.
I know what you mean.
Increase my
Yeah, build your
confidence.
confidence
I
back.
really wanted to
Yeah.
rebuild my confidence after being in a marriage that really lost confidence because we weren't having sex and we weren't being intimate. And so I thought, is there something wrong with me? Because I mean, usually you think that when your partner is not attracted to you. And
Right.
as far as I know, he wasn't having an affair, but I actually think that he was looking at other women online, which is so funny and ironic since, this is kind of what I do now. But I think that that caused us to drift apart sexually. So I really had to rebuild my confidence and had to feel good about my body, especially after having twins. I actually gained after twins, I gained like 65 pounds. I used to be 110 pounds, which is really thin. But I personally didn't like being that thin. I like being thicker. So I love my thicker curves now, but it still helped. I had to readjust to my brain for that.
Yes.
So I scheduled a boudoir photo shoot. And after that photo shoot, I loved the way the photos came out. I loved the way I looked. And I remember modeling in college. And so I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try this again. So as I started to model, I got lots of followers, of course, on Facebook because they're all interested in my boudoir modeling. And then I realized I really needed to start making money because I can't just make a living off people on Facebook. So that's when I started. I mean, you can. I mean, people can send you money through Cash App and all that, but it's
It's
just
touch
different.
and go though. You need
Yeah.
like steady.
Yeah. It's like I
Yeah,
can't just live on $100 here and $100 there.
right.
So I decided to create my own website. So it was called Seraphs and Serpents, stands for angels and demons, because at the point I was really struggling a little bit with my moral ethics and whether or not I wanted to do this because of my spiritual background and being Christian and feeling like I really wasn't sure if what I was doing was going to be ethical. So that's why I created this website called Seraphs and Serpents, Angels and Demons, because I felt like I was kind of playing a little bit in like the the devil's playground. So anyway, the website did great and I ended up replacing my income with just the website. But
Wow.
yeah, so actually did really good surprisingly because guys would pay for things on my website and you would think that maybe they wouldn't because it could be a scam, right? But I luckily had guys that would buy videos, they bought content, and it was going great for like a year. But it was then shut down because the credit card processing system I was using actually didn't allow the kind of content I was putting on my site. So, so they ended up deleting that processing, credit card processing app for me. And so I had to figure something else out. And this is when OF was literally just getting started. So it was at like
Okay.
very, very beginning. And I looked into it and I thought, you know what? I guess I'll do it. They do take 20%, but I guess I'll go ahead and try it. And I was able to make good money right away. But then it wasn't until the COVID boom that I ended up starting to make, the big money of like
Yeah.
100,000 a month or whatnot, which is was great and fabulous. But what I love about my journey is that it's always been about building my confidence and self esteem. It never really was about money, but the money came because I was doing it that way. And then later, it did become about the money because I needed to support my family.
Yeah.
And I was a single mom. And so it did become about the money, but it really wasn't the reason I started. I mean, I started just because I wanted to build my self esteem and self confidence.